Welcome back to Intro to Presentations. Today, let's continue with the third piece of our presentation, delivery. The first two pieces are preparation and design. The third piece is delivery, and I want to focus on connecting with the audience and some lessons that we can learn from the TED Talks. Let's begin. So what are some delivery basics? Well, one necessity is having a structure and a strategy. And a simple structure to think about is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Also, what's important is having solid content. Once you have that structure, you want to fill that structure with great or strong content. And then a third piece of a delivery basic is connecting with the audience. Somehow, some way, you want to draw the audience in. You want to connect with them. It's becoming increasingly difficult in this COVID-19 era, but you need to connect with your audience some way, somehow. And let's take a look at how you might be able to do that. In particular, let's look at the TED Talks. Beyond those three delivery basics, why are TED Talks potentially an important way to help you improve your delivery? What lessons can we learn from TED? TED Talks often grab our attention quickly. In fact, in the first 30 seconds, they don't want the audience to tune out, so they might say something controversial or humorous, something to grab your attention quickly. TED Talks are really all about the story. They'll begin with a story, and they don't want to bore the audience with a long introduction, so they'll normally jump right into it. Again, they may say something provocative to get you thinking or to grab your attention. But people are hardwired to listen to stories. People want to go on a mental journey, and audiences can't resist a well-told story. And when it's personal, when it comes from the heart, that's when it can have great impact with both not just an emotional connection, but a rational connection. Introducing conflict is an important part of storytelling and effective presentations. Introduce a surprising element that makes the story irresistible. Ask yourself in the preparation phase, is my conflict strong enough? Does it arouse some type of audience emotion? If there's no real strong conflict, you're not going to get the audience curious, and that's going to result in a lack of interest. The stronger the conflict, the more captivating the story potentially can be. Introduce conflict, some type of problem, some type of adversity, and how the hero or even you have overcome it. And show versus tell. Show the character themselves. In the TED Talks, you often hear how people have overcome something really hard or really important in their lives. They provide specificity to help the audience see what they're saying. They create mental movies and add credibility. They're creating this picture in your mind. They give the audience enough sensory info to construct that mental image. Pack in as many senses as possible, but keep your description short and impactful. Show versus tell. Those are some lessons to be learned from TED Talks. Inform, educate, and even possibly inspire. Talk with your audience. Have a conversation. Don't talk at them, lecture at them, but talk with them. And a conversation typically allows for different types of vocal variety. You can be really enthusiastic and into the conversation, or maybe you can take it down a notch. But your story should contain the spark that allowed your character to overcome the conflict. You can change the tone of your voice to express that. Show the change in character as a result of the conflict and leave your audience, if you can, on an emotional high. There should be some type of big takeaway. In this lecture, I'm going to ask you for your final presentation, your learning team presentation, think about what's the main message, what's the key takeaway. I think in terms of business terms, sometimes we say return on investment, ROI. In presentation terms, I think of ROI as is your story relevant? Is it original? And is it impactful? Wrap up your story with an important takeaway. Make your takeaway message short so that the audience can remember and repeat it to others that perhaps were not even there. Great. Okay, so that's the why, but how else can you connect with an audience? Let's look at that, and then I'll give you some TED Talks to consider and view for yourself. How to connect with an audience. Again, both the logical, having strong content, a well-structured argument is important, and also the emotional sides of the audience matter. How people make decisions and take in information appeals to both the rational and the emotional side of our brain. What you say and also how you say it matters. Think about both logic and emotion as you prepare your presentation and deliver it too. How to connect with an audience. If the content is worth talking about it, and I believe it is, in your first two presentations, it's been very strong, bring energy, passion to your delivery. Every situation is different, but dull is not an option. The great business investor, Warren Buffett, once said, without passion, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. So bring it. If the content is worth talking about, bring energy and passion to your delivery. Again, speak conversationally with your audience to connect with your audience, but have elevated energy. Show them that you care, and they should too. Move with confidence and purpose. In the TED Talks, you can see people moving around the stage. They know how to connect with an audience, and they're not overconfident, but they are confident and have a strong sense of purpose. If you feel comfortable with your topic, if you've structured it well, if you thought about both the rational and emotional sides, and you're presenting with purpose and have a clean and simple, straightforward takeaway, you should be able to move with confidence and purpose. If you can maintain eye contact with the audience, I realize in this COVID-19 era that becomes tough, but move around, look at people as you speak. Start strong if you can, with a punch in the beginning to make a connection. In a moment, you'll look at some different TED Talks that hopefully some start stronger, some start stronger than others. Include content that's personal, unexpected, novel, challenging, or even humorous. I remember giving a sales presentation a while back when I had to ask the question, what if you don't need to increase your budgets to convert more leads? That was counterintuitive. All of us thought we needed more money, but we didn't have more money, so we had to convert more sales leads. Look for creative ways and impactful ways and even unexpected ways to connect with your audience. Sometimes consider your dress. Look good, feel good, do good. If you look good and you feel good, then hopefully you can give a great presentation. Think about what you're wearing and how that impacts the audience. Try not to read a presentation or rely too heavily on notes. That's another way you can connect with the audience and not be a distraction. Every word that is unnecessary only pours over the side of a brimming mind, said Cicero, the great Roman philosopher. Better communication and better presentations are clear, concise, and complete. Focus on what you can do and be clear and concise, and that's a better way to connect with your audience too. In this presentation, I'll send you these hyperlinks. You'll hear from Mike Rowe, Learning from Dirty Jobs. You'll also hear from Sir Ken Robinson and How Schools Kill Creativity. And you also hear again, maybe you've already watched this, from Jill Bolt Taylor, who suffered a stroke, a brain stroke, and what she learned from that process. In all these presentations, there's something to learn, and consider our evaluation form, which I'll include in my upload for you to evaluate what you like and what you think these folks can do better, and then apply those lessons learned to yourself. So review. We looked a little bit about what are the delivery basics, why are TED Talks potentially helpful for improving delivery, and how else can you connect with the audience? In our next class, you'll take the quiz on Manaba, then we'll meet on Teams for a quick preview, and then you'll break into your learning teams and start to finalize your topic for your final presentation 3, and also draft a key takeaway for the audience to remember. Your final presentation is on Friday the 7th, and then we'll report back as a group and meet on Teams, and you'll be done for the day. Thanks. Take care.